Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel where I do my best to answer some of the audience questions, trying to catch up with the questions from Honey's channel. And I do want to say that the way I do this is I answer the questions. I look at the questions, and as I use my pendulum, it takes me a little bit of time, or just enough time that if I did this live in on camera, it would just take up a lot of time. And right now I'm trying to keep the videos fairly short with my Zoom channel. So I have them kind of written out, so I don't miss anything. I'll be kind of reading them, and I can kind of show you with the pendulum as we get going, you know what I mean, if it verifies it or not. Okay, so the first question comes from Helen, and this was in early May. She says, I was born with a hole in my heart. I had to get many heart catheterizations, heart procedures, but never had a problem. Is this something I brought with me from a past life? And so basically, as I tuned into it, it says not from a past life, okay? This is not even a karma situation, okay? It spells out to get the experience of a medical condition. As I further inquired about it, it led me to two different scenarios. You planned to have this happen to you in this life for two different reasons, okay? And again, my yes answer is forward and backward, and my no answer goes side to side. Okay, so you planned this situation for yourself for two reasons. First, to come in as an infant and see if your family would do what was needed to save your life. Without those many procedures, I get that you would not have survived. Okay, and then secondly, to have this occur at birth, early on, so that you would not have necessarily a memory of the pain or the procedures that you had to go through. Although I know there are some people who have memories of waiting to be born even. So in essence, it was kind of like a test that you put out as you planned your birth. And because of the life-saving procedures, they allowed you to live your life without any complication. So that obviously means that you were here you were meant to be here at this time, which was your ultimate goal. Okay, so you agreed to have these stipulations, if you will. So that's pretty cool, Helen. So I hope that answers your question on that. Okay. We're next going to move to Denmark, to Pamil, I'm going to say. That's how I'm going to pronounce it. She asks, do I have a negative entity attached or any negative marking or spell casted on me? My dreams are weird and on the brink of being very negative. I also often have a hard time keeping my vibrations high, as a lot of negative emotions keep coming up. I very much wish to connect on a deeper level with my higher self. It feels like a lid has been placed on me, which is preventing me from connecting. So could you tell me what's going on, please? Okay, so I get in my answer that there's no negativity, or there's no negative entity. Put this guy back up. Okay, so and I am bracing my elbow on a box this time. There's no negative entity or spells. Okay, you are experiencing the trapped or unaddressed traumas. Everyone is having these emotions right now, and they will get more intense until they are acknowledged and let go. So like I said, we're all purging. We need to unload the baggage to move forward. Okay, so take the time to tune in into it and try to recognize what it is that's triggering you. I get that it has more to do with childhood trauma, more emotional than physical trauma, when you didn't have control over your situations like we tend to in our adult life. So it tells me it is time for you to let go of grudges so you can forgive yourself and others. Also, I get that you want to nurture your inner child, especially because these memories are from those years. So try not to add negative activities into your life, or don't entertain things that do bring your vibe down. Focus on joyful activities. Let your inner child out and play. So once you release these traumas, you free your soul, and your vibration can soar. Like removing poisons from your body, this healing process allows your connection to your higher self to become stronger. So right now, these negative energies are overshadowing your ability to feel a clear, strong connection with Source. So I hope that helps you. Again, we just have to focus on the positive, whether we're manifesting the beautiful world that we want, that we see coming for us, but we have to acknowledge the stuff that we need to take out the trash. And so we need to kind of acknowledge that. So I hope that helps you, that answer resonates with you, Camille. Okay. Okay, so next I have, next question comes from Barbara. And this was also in May. She did send some pictures, and I think I have it figured out where I can screen share. So we'll see. She says, I live in Florida and was working outside 2 days ago. I came inside and I sat for a few minutes looking outside my window, or outside with my sunglasses on, and I saw a purple and teal sky. I took my sunglasses off and could only see a regular sky. I went outside and I couldn't see it. So I went back inside again to look again. Same story. New sky with the sunglasses on, looking through the window. So I looked out another window, a different window with the sunglasses. No new sky. And then I looked out again out the same window from a different angle at a different part of the sky. No new sky. So I looked out the same direction with the glasses on in the same window. New sky. So yesterday and today I look through the window and repeat the experiment, the same result, only more new sky. And the coloration, it shifts throughout the day, so it would change. She said, I decided to try to take a picture with my sunglasses over the lens of the camera, and these are the results I can see. So she says, I did put a film on the these windows to block over the sun, or block out the sun, years ago. I'm wondering if that's the reason I can see the different colorization of the sky. So let me see if I can get this going here and share it with that. So she gave me two pictures. So this is the picture of the sky without the sunglasses on. And then she has her sunglasses on looking through the same window. And this is the window that she has the films, or the sun blocking film on. So that's quite a difference. Those are beautiful colors. So that's pretty interesting. That and what I get for that answer is that you really did see the real sky. Okay. And it was a combination of the film on the window that you had put on and using your sunglasses that allowed you to see those vivid colors. Something having to do with the way that window film absorbs or changes the way the light is received. Sounds like you will continue to see this with both things in play, wearing your sunglasses and looking through the window. So I don't know, that's pretty exciting. Thought that was pretty cool. So thank you for sharing that. And just going to say, was that pretty much what we got, higher self? Was there anything more on that? No. Okay, perfect. So thanks for sharing those photos. The next question is going to come from Sue. And she says she loved the show that we did on the music and frequency. I think one of our hidden history ones. And I love all kinds of music, especially Native American music. And I've been trying to learn the guitar for 3 years now. I used to mess with it when I was young, just hopeless. But since the flu or being sick, I've been obsessed. So I get frustrated and I cry, and it's not a positive experience when she gets frustrated. She says, I learned from the guitar app. And when I play the music, I feel so happy. She says, I have a terrible secret. I love the Partridge Family music. So I fear I may be programmed by it, but it makes me so happy. It brings back all those memories where I didn't have a care in the world. Should I stop playing the Partridge Family music? Thank you for all your work. I had to chuckle a little bit because, and I actually meant to have my Partridge Family album here to hold up, but again, with this background, I'm not sure if it would have showed up. So my answer is, okay. My answer is, by all means, continue to play the Partridge Family music. That is my era as well. I get that 4 to 5 months ago or so, all frequencies of existing music was adjusted to a good frequency. In other words, way back, was it the 30s? They had changed the hertz, the frequency of much of the music. I think it was to 440 hertz, which is the nefarious one, or it wasn't the best for us. And we were tricked into following that. So that has been changed. So even if it was music that was made years and years ago under that, whatever it is that happened, it actually is fine to listen to. It's not going to give you any negative vibes. It's not going to take you down. So I hope you can continue with the guitar. You know, it's about feeling joy. It's about the music can really give you a high vibe, any kind of and music from anything, whether it's you're listening to a song or you're trying to play music, singing. The arts, you know, the arts will be in the forefront. All of those wonderful things, and they'll be celebrated in the golden age. So, and again, right now it's about playing with your inner child, and sometimes we just have to be light and happy. There's just enough as we're going through, moving through our stuff and saying goodbye to old ways and moving forward. I applaud you for stepping into something that makes you happy. So just enjoy David Cassidy and the Partridge Family. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but any of that era music does the same thing for me. Music really resonates with me as well, and it can transport you into a certain place and time. So use it to your advantage and enjoy it wholeheartedly. Okay, Sue. The next question I get is from Dolly May. It's all together, so I believe Dolly May. She says, basically, my question is, around age 4 or 5-ish, asleep in her bedroom with her sister, who was a year older, I woke up in the middle of the night and a black robed and hooded, kind of like a monk outfit, stood at the foot of my bed. I screamed and screamed. No one heard me, not my sister or my parents, who were in the next room. He stayed there watching me. I hid under the covers, very scared. Shortly, he was gone. Who was he? Why was he there? Why was he watching me? Has he ever been back? And if so, where was he from? Why couldn't anyone hear me screaming? So just a few avenues to pursue with that, but let's go here. My answer was, initially, I get that a family member was watching you. It was a family member from the past. It was a parallel lifetime. So it did really happen. And I get that it was your grandfather. It was your grandfather in a lifetime that you both had in Middle Earth. And I believe you were elves. Okay. So you were seen through the parallel lifetime, he was, let's see. You were, and you both were, it was an elven life, but you were kind of shorter elves. I guess there's different sizes of them too, but it did really happen. And your grandfather at that time was seeing you through the parallel lifetime, and he loved you very much. So he was lovingly watching over you. And somehow you were able to see through it, which is why it seemed like a dream to you. Also, that's why your reaction did not wake up your sister or your parents, because it was right there in that room. Okay. So I get that you have not had any further experiences with him. And also remember, like the hooded robe thing would have been a common attire for someone in that time, or that in Middle Earth, especially for elders and so forth. So I don't claim to really have my head wrapped around all the parallel lifetime stuff and whatnot, but it is something that did happen. So I thought that was interesting. We're going to go to Tina. So Tina, and this is a question from February 18th. She says, in 2019, I was in a coma from a medical procedure. I had a coma dream where I met 3 family members. They said, it's not your time yet. You can stay if you want to, but you have more to do. So Tina's asking, am I a walk-in? And if so, where am I from and what is my mission? Okay. So right away, I get that you are not a walk-in. Your soul chose to come back because you chose this lifetime to be here for this ascension process. Okay. I get that you have Palladian energy. And as far as your mission or your work, I get that you will be a key player in showing kindness during this transition process, moving into the golden age. So I believe it said, she will spread sunshine to all around her. So know that this is happening now, as far as your mission goes, that you are here for that purpose specifically, and that you will be instrumental in comforting and supporting people through all the chaos and confusion that they will feel with the changes that are occurring even now. And as far as the mission going forward, after, as we are more ascended, there will be many things that will come up, and we might have multiple missions to go to. But right now, this is your mission now. So I hope, Tina, that helps you. And to know that you're not a walk-in, it's still you. The next question comes from Regina. This is also a February question. She says, I left my healthcare career of 24 years in 2020 due to all the corruption in the medical field. These past 2 years, I've been homeschooling my youngest son and doing lots of inner work and energy healing. However, I feel lost. I feel like I need to have a real job, but not in the 3D world. What am I supposed to be doing? Do I have a specific mission? I have many questions. I know there are answers. She says, I also, I've been doing the inner work, and I've been doing lots of inner work and energy healing. I don't know if I said that, but anyway, she's just wondering what she should maybe be doing, and if she has a purpose right now. So I will tell you that calm down here. I get that it's good for you to stay out of what you call any 3D jobs, so not just go back into something different. And I applaud you for exercising your sovereignty and being done with that job because of all the things that have went on. I get that you need to continue with homeschooling your son at this time. I get that that's basically that was that opportunity has been a gift to you. As far as what you should be doing, I get that that your healthcare skills will serve you well moving forward, but I don't have any specifics on that. You say you are currently doing lots of inner work and energy healing. So if that type of work is helping you, it may be something that you would be interested in. And the more you work on yourself with these things, you could be utilizing those skills to help others as well. So remember too, moving forward, it's not going to be a sick care model like we have had all these years. And in fact, we will learn how to, we'll get healthy, and we'll learn how to heal ourselves. There'll be so many alternatives, so many other wonderful ways to stay healthy and vibrant. And so, and it won't be about having diplomas and all these licenses and stuff to do it. So I would say in the meantime, while you're homeschooling your son, and work, and which is a great way to bond with him, do your best to see what those energy healing modalities that are resonating with you, and possibly just start learning a little bit of those kind of things, and it will evolve. And your gifts you'll know what feels right, and you'll be surprised at how many people will be drawn to that. So I hope that helps you in making that decision. Okay, so I am going to go next to Tracy. And Tracy says, I have recently started, she's a fairly recent subscriber. And again, this is also from February. I'm trying to go all over the place, really. She says, when I was still a baby and still in a crib, she says she's 47 now, I distinctly remember 4 green little beings that came through my bedroom window, but my window was closed. They were not speaking the same language as my mom or my other family spoke when they talked to me. I also remember they had a weird little ear-like knobs on top of their heads. They were trying very hard to get me out of the crib to go with them. It wasn't until one of them touched me that I screamed bloody murder, and my mom came in to see what was wrong. These beings immediately disappeared into thin air before my mom came into the room. My mom still remembers that scream because she's never heard it since. I asked her if she had seen anyone in my room, and she said no. And after telling her what I saw, she said it was just a bad dream. But I disagree. Given my very young age, I was not walking yet, but I could hold myself up while holding on to something. So any insight would be greatly appreciated. So still being pretty young in the crib, that's quite the memory, I will have to say. So the answer that I get is, I get that this event did happen. It is not a dream. So you're correct. Okay. I don't get a specific name for the type of ET or that it was. They were just little green aliens, but they were a younger, lower density ET, a little bit on the mischievous or bratty side. And what I got was they did want to take you. They did want your DNA. They wanted you for stuff that they had planned to do. I don't, I'm not going to go into specifics there, but let's just say it was nefarious. Okay, so they didn't have the best of intentions. I also get that if they would have taken you, if they would have been successful, you never would have been returned. Let me see if I can get that back here. That you never would have been returned. You would have spent your life there with them, and it wouldn't have been a good life. So that would have been a lot of heartbreak for everybody in your family. So I get that because you made such a fuss, that horrible scream that your mom says to this day she never heard again, was really, it really surprised them. And, it scared those ETs so bad. And I get that you almost maybe, between that reaction and then as that one touched you, it kind of gave them a shock or a jolt. So basically it made an impression. They got the heck out of there. You scared them, and they never came back because they figured it was going to be, they weren't going to mess with that. They were going to move on and find somebody else or something else. So they never did come back to bother you. So your intuition, or your reaction, and probably some of your guardian angels or whatnot were helping you on that. And I'm so glad that you stayed safe, but because that could have been a bad situation. Very interesting. I hope that gives you some clarity. We're going to go next to Arlene, another February question. She says, I've always loved seeing the sylphs, 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 and how different they all can be. I have read about them online, but I feel there is more to the story. Can you please tell us the purpose and what kind of beings they are? So I did have to look them up just for clarification. And again, the sylphs are the beautiful images that you see in cloud formation. So I get that they help people. They help people know the angelic realm is watching and protecting them. Okay, they take on the shape or the appearance of things that give them specific meaning, that give specific meaning to the people who need to see them. They communicate signs from the angelic realm, and that is where they're from, the angelic realm. So they are, in essence, I'll call them the guardians of the ether, if you will. So a little like other communications we get, you know, we talk about angel numbers that people see, certain other synchronicities that happen, you know, the feathers, the coins, and the whatnot. It's a way of communicating love, assurance, and safety, and any kind of message that an individual might need to see. The sylphs have a way of, they're usually fairly, they're up there, but they're usually pretty hidden. They hide themselves pretty good. And I also get that they, you know, they protect the ether. They help limit the damage from wind-related issues and so forth. So they do have some protective qualities that way, but they're just messengers of love and divine guidance from the angelic realm, essentially. I'm sure there's much more to them, and they can be very pretty. They can morph into any shape, from a person, an animal. You know, if you really watch some of those, watch the sky, it's pretty cool. So I hope that helps you with that. We're going to go next to Serena. Serena, another February question. She says, my question is about our pets. Okay. And I want to ask if it's humane to have our pets euthanized at the end of their lives, or should we let their souls decide? I believe that we should let them decide, but maybe I'm wrong. So this one resonated quite a bit with me because we had to do this recently. So let's see if I can get through this question. The answer that I got when I tuned into this was ultimately that yes, it is a gift to be able to help them cross over the rainbow bridge without trauma, without pain. So so let me explain what, you know, too, that our pets are continually talking to us with their, what's my little guy? Our pets are continuously talking to us with their mannerisms. Okay. And the question is, how much are we paying attention to them? So as our own intuition grows and telepathy comes into play a little bit more, we will intuitively know a little bit more clearly what's going on with our pet. Okay, so basically, they tell us when they don't feel good, because you notice the behavior changes. They're slowing down. They're not doing some of their normal activities. They just, you know, they act differently. And we will intuitively learn to know when our pet is struggling. And they don't always make noises, yip and yelp and whatever, because they are so, they silently suffer so oftentimes. They are so unconditionally loving that they will be loyal to the end, in spite of their infirmities. So know that their soul knows that their time is short. And when this happens, they know that it's getting close to going back to source. So they do appreciate the gesture that you would make in assisting them to have a transition in the most loving manner possible. And you know, again, it was my daughter's dog, that was a rescue dog, and I always say that they rescued each other. Okay. And they had a beautiful relationship and so forth. I think that she was a Labrador retriever. I'm sorry, she was Lab and Vizsla Lab. And so in January, we did help her cross the Rainbow Bridge, and we knew it was coming. And she was even taking her into some acupuncture treatments and so forth. She'd rally and do well. And it's like, yes, she wants to be here. We tuned into her, tried to connect to her. She did want to stay for the longest time, but it just got very evident that all of a sudden, we knew, she would just turn a corner, and each time it was worse and worse. And it was time. So what we did was we found a veterinarian that this gal basically made it her practice. That was her goal, is she helped owners with this issue. And so she would go to the house. So she came to the house and allowed us to have her in the home, in her own bed, in surroundings with beautiful music going, and, a very loving, and we had a very, leading up to that, loved on her, and it was a beautiful send off. I mean, it's never very easy, but knowing that we know she'll come back to us, or she'll come back to her in the next few years. I will say that we found, she says there's some, I think it's on YouTube, it's like this pet music channel or pet channel, and they have like all the time, 24/7, beautiful instrumental type music with videos of pets and stuff playing and doing things, animals. And it doesn't seem to shut down like some of the other, if you were to leave to go to work and stuff, you'd come back, it'd still be playing. So that's what we did. But yes, I think that the only time that I kind of question, unfortunately, in this 3D world, we've had an influx. We have a lot of animals that don't ever find homes. So they've been at the pound or somewhere, some humane society type thing, and then they get full, and some animals get euthanized that way. So that's that's definitely sad if it happens when they're younger and they don't even get a chance. But I have to think that it's just like for us humans, I mean, for us, their soul knew that that was a possibility as they came in. There's just no mistakes, I don't think, when it comes to that. But still, is it better to do that humanely rather than let them suffer by themselves, cold and hungry? And yes, I think it is. But again, as we get more intuitive, ask your pet what they want. See if you can communicate and get that answer. So, boy, that was kind of a long, drawn out little dialogue there. But Serena, I hope that makes sense, and you need to do whatever you feel is right. Okay. The last question I'm going to go to is a really recent one, and it's from Delene. That's how she told me it was spelled. She says, about 1 year ago, I received a knowing to lay down on my couch for some ethereal surgery. I felt pressure and some discomfort on my left side, on the left side of my chest. It took a while, and I was still feeling discomfort. I was too weak to get up for the remainder of the night. So she was kind of down for the count, sounds like. And was that a heart surgery, she asks, and who performed it? Because she feels like it was in the heart area. So as I tuned into that one, I get that the electrical pathways of her heart were being healed and redirected for a much easier way for you to accept love, and primarily for you to accept self-love, Delene. So due to the many traumas and injuries, from a soul level injuries, we're not talking about physical injuries, throughout your lifetime, throughout this lifetime, but primarily childhood wounds. I get that you are doing good doing much better overall at this time. Who performed this on you? I get that it just said galactic crew consisting of Palladians and Lemurians. So that's what I got. I get that there were other times in the past that you had some body work or some things that were done to you for body improvements or adjustments to help you, but not necessarily the heart specifically. And I asked, would there be more that might have to occur? And it kind of said, yeah, in my circle, it said maybe. So who knows? Depends on how we evolve, or how, when we, are moving to crystalline. I think most of us are crystalline already. There's just so many things that we're learning, purging. We've got to get our bodies ready for the energies and the gifts that are going to be coming to us. And it takes a little bit of work. So I think that we all have to do that. I hope that these question answers were rather interesting. And I thank you all for participating with, when you email the questions in, and we're doing our best. And we'll just see. And if it's really important, send another one, just resend. And it can be on Honey's question and answer email too, the askhoneysgolden@gmail.com. And just kind of tag it like, I sent it before, I hope that you get my question, and so forth. So anyway, I really appreciate all your support, all the loving comments for me as I'm venturing out in this YouTube land, which is very interesting. So I appreciate your subscriptions, and I we'll see you next time. So until then, have a wonderful day, evening, week, and I send love and light to you. So thank you for watching.